Good morning. It's a crazy airplane day today. I don't know how live stream's gonna go at 1 p.m. because we are loud, loud, loud. There've already been more than one jet flyover. So they must be actively training on a Friday of all days. Who'd think? You'd think, in the military, maybe they'd slack off on Fridays. That's what I would suggest. Anyway, so today we're gonna talk about Sashiko. I'm gonna start you on these two coasters. Everything I tell you is going to work for any Sashiko design. Um, so definitely you can get these kits yourself and refer back to this. But you can also just practice the techniques with some embroidery floss. This is 100% cotton, and I don't know, it's a little fluffier than embroidery floss, but there is no reason why you can't play around with embroidery floss and just don't get a somewhat heavyweight cotton fabric. Don't go muslin. Or if you're going to do muslin, put 2 or 3 layers on. This is, I would say, light denim, broadcloth. It's kind of hard to explain. I do all my weight judging by my fingers. That's why, like, even when somebody tells me, "Oh, this is 70-pound paper," I'm like, "Well, what's that? I need to feel it." And yarn. I'm in a very tactile business. But here is the Sashiko design. It's going to be a little hard until I get you flipped over to look at my hands. There's your Sashiko design. Your kit comes with the 2 coasters. At least these kits do. I think I just got in, and I've not put them up yet. I just got in a set of 5 of the colored ones. I don't think it's exactly these, but this style. So, oh, look, a bit of yarn on the back there. So this style has come in. So if you want white with colored yarns, you can get those as well soon. But this, I picked the blue background. Why can't I think of? Oh my goodness! Every day with you guys, I gotta go in and type in the word that I can't come up with when I'm yakking, or talking, as the case may be. Indigo. There we go. Got it. Indigo fabric. I don't even know if it's actually indigo dyed. It probably isn't. But indigo is a tradition in Japan, and I think originates from Japan, or at least there is a separate tradition from Japan. The whole Asian development of craft and U.S. development of craft, and other things for that matter, we just sort of did not address. There are more and more publications coming out about the history of Asian inventions and developments, and a lot of what we know as a European development. Basically, the priests and the nuns traveled into Asia, learned stuff, brought it back, and kind of passed it off as their own. And you don't know if it wasn't necessarily on purpose. They just said, "Hey, here's a thing." Don't really say, "Hey, let's attribute this to my trip to India." They just say, "Hey, here's a thing," and that's that. But these 2 coasters will be gold thread and then a light baby blue thread. Kit comes with that. The kit comes with a needle, so your Sashiko needle. A Sashiko needle is longer. I gotta get mine to pop out. It's not coming out of here, and I'm holding you on my phone because we're on a phone method today. Sashiko needle. They are sharp and a decent sized eye, and about 1.75 inches long, because you do go in and out more than 1 stitch at a time. This is not like embroidery, or a lot of our embroidery, where we just do 1 stitch at a time. You are supposed to run this kind of like quilting, but of course you're not supposed to hold it. Traditionally, you don't hold it like quilting. I will tell you that I kind of hold mine like quilting, sort of. Not really, but a little bit, to get more than 1 stitch out of it. And then it comes with a pamphlet. Now, remember, this is a Japanese product, so you're not going to get English. I will tell you, if you want to start playing around with your Google Translate, there are softwares out there where you can take a picture of the words and they will translate it for you. Not going to be perfect, but it's pretty darn good. So, and this is why Kelly and I love Japanese books, love Japanese craft kits, because everything here, no, I can't turn you around. I don't know why. My phone used to turn you around, but it now just quits the video. So, see the photos? Let's see if I can get you a decent distance here. Everything in the instruction is photoed. So it tells you what to do. Now, in pictures, it does not, sorry, I'm gonna like, it does not tell you that you're supposed to be working from the back. But, and I will put his link below, the Sashiko guy, and I think that's the name, as the YouTube channel is Sashiko. That is, he got the thing. He got the name, I think. Anyway, he comes from a family in Japan who has produced Sashiko products for years. Now, this is Olympus. This is probably in Japan. This is considered the cheapy craft store kit. However, in U.S. parameters, it's a lovely kit. So we are getting in Olympus right now. Eventually, if this goes well, I would love to talk to him about bringing stuff in and having it. But for now, I will send you a link to his website because he does live streams and he talks about Sashiko all the time. And he tells you hints and stuff. He also does full-on traditional classes. He teaches you and he will not let you not use the hand push method with your needle. He takes it very seriously. They also have hand-dyed Sashiko threads. I think they sell some fabrics. And he truly, like, he does jean repair and jacket repair, and he does repairs with his Sashiko. And eventually I'll get there. I just haven't had the garment, because knit I don't think lends itself well to repair. But eventually I will get a silk and or cotton garment that I need to repair, and I am definitely going to go Sashiko. So, hang tight. And I put his link in because I really like him and he's cute. He, if you go back in his stories, he talks about how when he was 18 or a teen, getting ready to go off to college, he tried to escape Japan because he was tired of the family business and he knew they were grooming him to take it over. So he came to university in the U.S. and he had no plans to go back. He ended up marrying an American wife, and then he laughs because he's now a stay-at-home husband and he's doing Sashiko again and falling in love with it. And he said, I ran away from this and now here I am full circle back. So he has a really cute story. Definitely recommend his YouTube channel. But I'm going to cut in because I have to set this up for my hands. I am not good at a switch over like Kelly is. So I will cut in the tape and I'll show you some of the techniques that I have learned doing my 4-5 Sashiko projects. Working a Sashiko pattern is much like walking a labyrinth. So if you and these kits come with the instructions. So if you'll see from here, whenever they change color, that means a new thread. On this pattern, which is the first one I'm going to do, you work around the exterior, then get a new thread, and work, find the dot. Where is the dot in the green? There's a starting spot. There's the starting spot right next to the 2. And then we work up, jump, which I'll show you my technique for traveling. Down, travel, up the zigzag to the other side, travel, down, travel, up, travel, down, travel, up, travel, down. So, theoretically, this is 2 strands of thread. Probably will need to change over somewhere in the interior. The other thing you need to know about Sashiko is that we work from the back. So this print work here, we're going to be working from the back side. This is the back of our work. This is the front of our work. And as you can see, I've already started working my outline around the edge of the figure. The markings show where your stitch belongs on the front, but they show on the back. So your goal is to go up and down in the space between the markings, but work your needle down at the beginning of the mark and back up at the end of the mark. And then down at the beginning of the mark and up at the beginning of the mark, or at the end of the mark. Down at the beginning of the mark, up at the end of the mark. So that the marks from this design show, but this is the back, so it doesn't matter. The reason you want to travel in between the marks is it's just the tiniest bit shorter than the part that will show on the front. So there we go, on up, down, up, down. And believe me, I get off a lot. I have to back up and go, wait a minute, I forgot. This isn't US embroidery where you cover the lines. This is Sashiko where you do not cover the lines. There, I just traveled. The other thing I want to make sure you know is leave a little looseness in your work. I call them like turtle humps, because if you pull too tight, you're going to end up puckering your work. So I constantly stretch to get those to lay flat. So there is my upside. It looks like that one, I probably got off my line a little bit. I have to tell you, I am nearsighted, very, very nearsighted, and I work with my work really close, within 4, 5, 6 inches of my face. So working with this in my lap is not coming naturally to me. All right, I'm going to turn and go along this length. Go up that, oh, hang on. I'm supposed to be, see, I got off, and that long one is where I did it. I'm going to go back. So we're going to tear this back because I switched over just right when I was telling you not to switch over to the lines. That triggered me. I'm just tearing this back. I can see where I did it right there, and we could see it from the front with this gap right here. That's right where I switched over to covering the lines instead of working in the spaces. So let's fix that. And with all my handwork projects these days, I seem to have gained a lot of patience. You don't have to do that. You can work on doing a little half stitch to get back on track. So down at the beginning of the line, up at the end of the line, down at the beginning of the line, up at the end of the line. Let's also not get cocky and make a knot. There we go. There we go. Down at the beginning of the line, up at the end. There. Down at the beginning, up at the end. And oh, it's done it again. See these little pesky knots? Just don't pull tight and you can get them out. Again, leave loose. I don't remember to leave it loose all the time, but believe me, it's worth it, especially when you start to turn this corner. Leaving a loose turtle hump is good. All right, let me make sure I keep you in view. Down at the beginning of the line, up at the end. Down at the beginning, up at the end. Careful pull. Did it again. Oh, no, it's there. It's there. It's just hard to see. Not having my lights on it. Oh, hang on. Let's give us light, too. That would help. That would help. There. That'll probably help you. See, it helps me see the lines for sure. Back up. I usually pop my needle up in the line so that you've got a little bit more extra blank space to travel across. It helps me feel more comfortable. So I go down in the line, but just at the very beginning, and up in the line at the very end. Just so I can get a little bit more visual pleasing on the back while I work around. There, I'm going to leave that. It's a little slack. Try not to bump you. Also keep moving you back a little bit. I have you on a gooseneck clamp, And it just does not like my desk very well. So every once in a while I'm getting a message that says, move back, and I can't. I'll have to work on stabilizing this somehow better. I think having a desk would be great, and once we get back home, I'll be able to do these on a table. But right now, I'm on the sofa where I normally work, and having to do for now. There we go. So it's Friday again for me, not for you. You'll see this tomorrow. All right, turning the corner. This will be Monday for you, and probably I keep talking about my Friday live chats on Monday for you guys, and kind of hard to see it, isn't it? I need to go. I did upload last week's Friday live chat right away, mostly because it was such a hot mess that I had to splice 3 films together in order to get something cohesive. All right, let's get a little bit more. There, 3 stitches. Oh, it's trying to knot up again on me. There. And 3 stitches. It's really rather fun. Now, I sometimes don't follow the instructions, much to my detriment, trying to figure out what the labyrinth is. I would suggest in the beginning that you follow their directions, and then when you do your second one, see if you can figure out the pathway, but then follow their directions again. I find it challenging to figure out what is the most efficient way to do this, and I tore my first attempt out because I did not figure out the most efficient way. So I got started, and then when I looked at the instructions, I'm like, yeah, that's a much more efficient method of following these lines, like a labyrinth. I'm trying not to move you too much, but it is happening. All right. I'm going to put you on fast speed while I run through and finish this, and then you'll get a little goodbye message from me, and that'll be the end of that. I'll show you the finished product as well. Oh, that's not what we want. So the way that I travel, and this is not necessarily how it's done, but it's the way I've rationalized traveling, is I'm going from this line down to the next line as per their instructions. And what I do is just weave my Sashiko thread through the previous stitches that I can see on the back, and try to incorporate them in a little bit until I can travel down. Now I'm passing over my beginning knot and my end knot, but I'm just gonna sort of ignore them. I'll trim these ends later. There, I'm down to where I need to turn and start my next run. So again, down at the beginning of the stitch line, up at the end of the stitch line. This also reinforces that knot just a bit. Ooh, it looks like I pulled some with me. Well, it can't show, so I'm leaving it. It doesn't show. Down at the beginning of the marked line, up at the end. Let's get you in the frame. There. I'm just doing some single ones while I establish my line. There. All right, so now I'm ready to run and do multiple stitches. Down at the beginning, up. Down at the beginning of the line, of the marked line, up. Down at the beginning of the marked line, and up. It's about 3 stitches. Sometimes I can pull in a 4th, but there, leaving a turtle hump, as I call it. It's a very busy jet day. Very busy. Up, down, up, and I've come to the end. Now, got to consult my instructions. Where am I headed next? Oh, I'm headed back to the other corner, so there. Give it a nice stretch. And I'm going to travel, so I'll show you a second travel. Travel here, and this will be easier to see probably. Go under, just sort of weaving back and forth under the previous stitches till I work my way back to the line. And it can be the same size, same size or opposite side. For ease of purposes, I'm going the same side just because I'm trying to make this visible for you. There. I've traveled there, and now my next line is there. I believe. Let's double check that. Alrighty, so I finished. I pulled you off camera for a while because I really needed to get it up by my face. Here is the finished front side. Here is the almost finished back side. I have some clipping to do, but the back stitch really is firm. I made a mistake at one point and had to go back, and it took a little bit of work to get that knot undone. So do not worry that just a little splice back stitch is enough to hold this in. It is definitely enough to hold this in. So I will do another morning coffee with Tina and show you how to stitch this together so that you can make your own coaster all by hand. Don't need a machine. So that's it for me today. Happy Friday. I may get out one video this weekend, probably not 2. My husband has implored me to take a day off once a week at least. So maybe snippets. I may take you on a little field trip if we decide to go somewhere this weekend. Definitely cleaning house is in order, so that will be happening. Happy Friday, maybe Saturday for you. Don't forget to subscribe below and ring the bell so that you get notified when these new ones come up. Even though it's every day, it helps us with the YouTube algorithm. And I'm still shooting for 100 followers. We're getting closer, hopefully. We're in the 70s, shooting for the 80s, but I will definitely give a prize out, a drawing prize for 100. So pay attention. Tell your friends if you've got any crafty friends. You know, we do embroidery. I'm doing historical sewing. I'm doing knitting, crochet. Kelly does bobbin lace. So join us. Maybe I'll do a little. Or Kelly does tatting. I do bobbin lace. Maybe I'll try my hand a little tatting. I still remember how. It's the joins that get me down. But Sashiko today. I hope you enjoyed my little tutorial. I hope it helps. I hope you try it out. Remember, and I'll put a link in the description below, where you can get these little coaster kits are not very expensive, but give you valuable instruction and patterns, and all the materials you need. Stay caffeinated. See you tomorrow. Bye.